Hey guys, I am Kriti from the Pesto family, and we are again back with another episode of Humans of Pesto. So, basically, as you know me, I help all the candidates in their career services, in their placements, and all the interview prep. And so, basically, I will bring you forward with all, interact with all our Pesto alumni who will be sharing a lot of guidance for you young developers, and also they'll be bringing their experiences. They'll be sharing their experience with you so you can take it forward and use it to upskill yourselves. So today we have Vignesh, who is from Delhi, and he has currently been placed with our US partner. He is here to share a lot of technical guidance with you guys, a lot of good experience, how to prepare for such interviews, and also how to upskill yourself. So let's have a quick introduction with Vignesh.
Hi everyone. My name is Vignesh. I'm currently placed out at Memora via Pesto. I completed 3 months program at Pesto, and then I got placed eventually at a front-end / full stack role at Memora. So far the experience has been great, and there was a lot to learn, both technology plus other things related to technology, such as best practices while you're communicating with the clients and various other things which are usually taught in organizational course and all. So it's been pretty good experience so far.
So what I want to know, Vignesh, is how did coding happen to you basically?
Uh, well, coding struck me when I was reading this book by Steve Jobs. Basically, it was a biography of Steve Jobs written by Walter Isaacson. So I was reading that, and as I was going through it, the idea was repeatedly that technology is the next big thing that's happening in the world, and it will change revolutionize, that's the word that Steve Jobs used to use, the world as we see it. So that got me inspired into studying more about technology, be it programming, being learning almost every part related to technologies, and that's how I got into computer science.
So basically, you just went through Steve Jobs' autobiography and it inspired you, and you completed your BTech, right, in computer science. And then you just thought that, this is what I want to do, right?
Yeah, like at this stage most people are like confused, like what to do, like there are hundreds of streams and which one to follow, and instead of going through what most people would go into.
So now that you understood that you want to be a coder and it is your passion that you want to go through it, so after your BTech, how was your journey? Like, what did you what was your ambition towards it? See, getting into coding, you understood when you were in college, but how did you want to shape your career towards it?
Well, the end goal was always to be to do something similar to Steve Jobs, but I kind of got more into coding aspect and more into front end as well. And I realized that I love creating stuff. And there's like an amazing quote by him that the work you do is gonna take a lot of your life. Like it will take like 80 to 90% time of your life, and you need to choose the work you love, otherwise you will just suffer. So that really sticked with me, and I'm like really inspired by Steve Jobs, so I will refer to him a lot, and maybe other people too, but that kind of stick to me. And I used to pour like initially like 10 hours, 12 hours, sometimes even more as well, just learning, mastering the craft. And I also did some designing stuff as well. I think that was helpful at Pesto as well, because we designed our own mock-ups and then created a project. So yeah, it was like amazing. And like getting back to the question, the end goal would still be creating probably a company or being a part of company that makes a huge impact. I think the B part is still being fulfilled at Memora as well as every other company that I've been part of. And probably sooner or later I will satisfy the A part as well.
Definitely, we look forward to it. Yeah. So basically, how Pesto happened for you?
Okay, I came across Pesto while scrolling Instagram. So I was just scrolling Instagram, and at that time, like I was exploring everything, like I am like hungry for knowledge. Stay hungry, stay foolish. again a quote by Steve Jobs. So I like explore almost every, like a lot of aspects of knowledge, but most of my time is into technological aspect, IT programming and all. That's how I came across Pesto and I enrolled in it. I went through the test and I got cleared. Then I was kind of reprehensive, or there was something that I was doing as well on the side. I think I was preparing for higher educations as well. So I took a break, but then I realized that I really like coding and I think I should give Pesto a chance. I should move forward with it. And then I joined in, and then rest is history.
Now you're a part of Pesto family. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you just said, like that, you are a front end developer, core front end heavy developer. So, can you, like, we have a lot of young developers here watching you. So, can you give them guidance? What is a front end developer? What does a front end developer do? We want to know कि एक front end developer क्या करता है from a
Okay.
front end developer.
Uh, so like front end has now become like a bit vast, but briefly we could explain it as anything that you look at the screen when you're visiting a website, anything that you interact with. Directly user facing thing is done by front end developers. So any UI is basically user interface that is created on the screen, be it button, be it navigation bar, everything is done by a front end developer. Ranging from person's capability, a front-end developer might also do some designing, as in how the page should look or how the page should interact. That comes in under user experience. And depending on, again, capabilities and interest, a person can also connect backend and create databases according to that, which would be best. And nowadays, like it's kind of required that front-end developers should also know some kind of search engine optimization. Like it's better if you have almost, if you know a lot about neighboring things that are connected to your domain, which is front-end UI development, API integration. For example, there is a concept in a company called Valve is a gaming company, and it is a really big company, and it has created one of the best games ever. There is a concept called T-shaped individual, as in T being, this is your core field, which in my case would be like front-end developer, and this is all the neighboring field. So every developer should be a T-shaped, or every person should be a T-shaped. You know the core field and you know all the neighboring fields. That way you will be more creative, as in you can link all the capabilities. For example, if I am a front-end developer or I'm a coder and I know something about music, I can always get into creating software for music. And similarly, if I'm a front-end developer and I know a little bit of backend, I know how to design database, I can get into full stack development. I think I got out of scope.
No, that's amazing. It really gives a lot of insights to a front-end development course. And like for example, if there is someone who is not a coder, but he wants to become a coder, okay, he knows something about it, but exactly what should be done, he doesn't know. Then what would be your guidance towards that?
So in my college days, I realized that our college fest didn't have a website and all. So I basically jumped forward, like I'll create a website, and there wasn't even a requirement. I just created the website for my college festival and went to the head like, this is the website, you can use it. It will be good for you. I created the solution before there was a problem. And then I told them like, this is your problem, take the solution. So like there was this passion, like I want to create something, and the best way to test that was to create something, and best way to create something in coding was to create a website, because that's the simplest thing you can learn in the start. So at that time there wasn't React.js, there wasn't this big technologies like we used to code in like core HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery time. Like at that time we used to use jQuery. So yeah, just diving into code, creating smallest thing that you can create. It might take 30 minutes to make something. I later on moved to creating small games, as in browser-based games, and that was another learning experience of how to use what you know and how to implement into what you would want to. Like if you have a vision in your mind, like I want to create something interesting, that interesting should inspire you to create. At the same time, you should have fun creating. So for example, I would like to create a snake game takes like 30 minutes to create. So how would I create? That's the first step. That's the interest you want to create. Second step would be like how to create. How would you like to create? Then that would involve like research in the same field. Like you would go through Google search, YouTube search. Third step is basically implementation, and it's important that you implement your own instead of just copying what you have learned. Just implement it your own. Close the video and try to implement it your own, because that would help you find ways that have not been previously discovered. Implementing on your own, and then basically repeat the process. Step A,
um,
step 2, step 3.
like
Yeah.
just keep on developing and developing. So what do you think about the fundamentals? Like how do you think they should upskill themselves, or what exactly do they need to be good at their fundamentals?
Like fundamentals are can again be broken down into like three stage. Let's break it down to three stage. Beginner is anything that can help you get started to implement stuff. So your goal while learning anything new is to get to implementation stage as fast as possible. So beginner would be involved in case of JavaScript, how to basically write loops, how to control if condition, how to form variables and all, and how to use them together to create something small. Intermediate would go on to more a little more advanced aspect. So in case of JavaScript, it would be probably using some package or integrating CSS or making multiple things work together. It could involve using an API or something. It's totally dependent on what's the scope of the project plus where you want to go and where you are right now. And in advanced stage, it would be again like infinite. So in JavaScript, it would be like you are basically creating a web pack, you are bootstrapping your own project, you are compressing, you are basically looking for optimization, you are integrating SEO. Like it's a full-fledged project, be it for e-commerce or anything. And if you look into again fundamentals, like in advance, it would be like almost all optimization programmatically using higher order functions, uh, structuring code, maintaining clean code standards, um, optimizing code for other developers. Like it's endless.
That's amazing. Yeah, I am very sure that a lot of them are really, really getting a lot of good insights through this. And yes, so apart from that, what we would also like to know is like, once you become a software developer, you have some experience, you get some experience of developing or coding also. But where do you see what is the scope that a software developer can see for himself, or where do you think that we can go through? How is the growth of a software developer basically?
Um, I would say growth of almost everything is dependent on the person, but still, I think that growth for a software developer is significantly better than other career aspect. But again, I would still stick to point one because it's dependent from person to person, how much person learns, how much person researches on his own craft and implements that to create something that is needed. So like there is a concept there's a concept called ikigai, which is basically that what what you like to do and what the world pays you to do and what is helpful for the world. The combination of all three is gonna help you create an impact. Something similar to that. Um, so you need to find a combination of what you're good at doing, what you like doing, what you get paid to doing, and what is gonna help you or help others overall. If you do that, first of all, you will be happy, you will be interested because it's something you like to do, and you will get paid, and that would again be make you happy and so on.
Yeah, that's like, come on. So basically, it's just that once you start liking what you're doing, it will take you far.
Yes. And
Wow.
again, that's also related to growth as well, because if you're happy and you're productive, and that's enough growth for most people.
Yeah. So, as a front end developer, I'm sure that you're very good at coding part and developing, basically using all these scripting languages. But what I want to know is, what about the product mindset that every day everybody is talking about nowadays? It's just about everybody's asking for a product mindset. So can you just elaborate on this product mindset that tech industry is asking for?
Basically, product mindset, if you look into it, the main basis of product mindset is ownership. As in, we developer get so much lost in the code, we lose the big picture, as in what's really important for the company or what's really important for the product. If you have that kind of ownership, as in this is my product and I want the best for it, then you make the decisions that are not only good for you but also good for the product and the company. So if I spot a bug, if I spot a experience that's not good for the user, instead of waiting for the particular user to come in and getting their feedback and then changing it, I report it directly. We discuss it with the product owners, and we come to a good conclusion. That could be described as a basis for good product mindset. Everything starts with, in my opinion, and I think as far as I have researched, this is an opinion of other people as well. So everything starts with taking ownership. So if you take the ownership for the product, and again, ownership not in the sense of being egoistical for the product, but in a good sense, like this is my product, I want the best for it. If you have that mindset, you would make the best decision for product, you would make the best code for the product. So in that case, you won't write code in a hurry. You know that this would impact the application for the product, and this has been now implemented into standard, like in various companies. In my current company as well, there is a document as in which says that um, if you're in a hurry, don't push the code in this sprint, you can push it in next sprint. We value quality over speedy delivery, because that helps in a long run.
Great, yeah. How was your Pesto experience from all of this coding, programming, and everything? How was it learning with Pesto, upskilling yourself, and yeah?
uh, I think overall experience was great, mentorship was great, and my teammate was also great. So we actually created so when we got into Pesto, like first of all we'll go through a series of tutorials and coaching, and that are like top tiers, like uh, I should probably go through it again, but those are like top tier ones. And once you go through that, we have to decide on the project, we have to create PRDs and product requirement documents, that which are again industry standard. uh, so so funny thing is that we have this competition. So for other viewers, uh, we have this competition wherein we compete and present our projects, and we me and my partner Anuj actually got the first prize. And the reason how we got first prize was that we said that let's do something different. Think different, against Steve Jobs. So, and I was like, nobody's gonna create a dating website here, I know that. So we created a dating website, and initially we was like, how are we gonna create that? I was like, let's try. Like, okay, Anuj was also very supportive, and our skills are like complementary. And again, Shashank, our mentor, was also very supportive. Like, and we did that, and we created that using all the technologies. And another funny thing is that the way the way in which we created that, the way in which prototype that, is a lot similar to what the way in which my current company has also bootstrapped. So the technology level and the technology architecture was that we learned here at Pesto was a lot similar to what's being used outside as well. So that's like a great thing, amazing thing. And then we won the first prize. Rest is
Wow.
history.
How did you prepare yourself for our interviews, for US interviews, for Indian interviews? So basically, the prep work that you did.
So basically, at Pesto, we go through mock interviews. Plus, we are also given some guidelines on how to interact with interviews. As in, some we could say it's a code of conduct. As in, what's the best way to maintain a conduct with foreign customers, and For example, like if you like to have a transparency between your client and the person who's interviewing and you, and this could go and impact almost every part of your life if you try to implement it that way. So coming back to the process, the example would be like maintaining a transparency, as in if you're late for a meeting, inform them in advance while interacting, or if you need to cancel it, inform them in advance. uh, if you think you have made a mistake, accept it and try to improve on it. Like those are some concept, and of course anyone who's joining Pesto would eventually go through the entire process of how to best interact with clients, how to best perform in interviews, and what's the best thing they could do.
That's like very obviously it is a very integral part to be prepared for interviews, to be how to be confident on such interviews. So that is something that it comes through a lot of sessions here at Pesto also. And apart from this, like any guidance from your side to young developers who, like, anything that you think is very important for them that can be kept in, they can keep a, they can use it for their career upskilling.
Like if I'm right now and I could give some advice to the person who's me, who's just starting out like 6 or 7 years ago, I would say that don't doubt yourself, never doubt yourself. Like most the reason why most people don't get started is that they doubt themselves. Like, I don't think I can do this, and I don't think I will be good at this. One is first is doubting, other is over expecting. Both are like killers. Like in over expecting you will basically burn yourself out, and in doubting yourself you will never get started. Both in a way result to failure, and both failures are different, but it won't lead you to the place where you want to be. So don't do either, be balanced and get started. Important thing the important part is starting. Like there's a Chinese proverb saying that journey of thousand steps begin with a single step. So take that single step, dive into the code right now, start implementing whatever you're learning, implement it or teach it. Either of the two, and either of these tools will help you learn more. So when you teach, basically you've like neurologically the neurons are forming continuously, both teaching and implementing, they are the same thing. And the more the neurons form spark, the more you learn, the more you understand what you don't know, and the cycle begins again.
That's like, thank you, it is really good to understand what exactly is needed to get into that mindset of working. So, and apart from this, like how do you manage remote work, how do you maintain a work life balance, and in case if you're dating, then how do you maintain it?
Like I just don't think about it that much. Like I have my goal set for the day, like how much I need to achieve in a particular day. And usually I have seen a lot of videos as well on this related field, and I think there's some concept as in give equal attention to your social life, personal/family life, and your basically job. And sometimes your vocational work also comes into that. But I find it that it's much better if I set goals at the start of the day, as in these are the thing I would accomplish at my job, these are the thing I would accomplish uh, other areas of my life. Like at the end of the day, I shouldn't have the regret as in I didn't do this, I didn't do that. So prioritization is really helpful for anything. And for work-life balance, I think since I love the work I do, like it's already balanced.
That's the like the best tip. I mean, with all the developers, I think this is the best tip. If you love, you'll be able to balance it out. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. And you are a part of a Pesto community. So, and like, how do you see our community? Like, how do you think you can be a part of it? And what is the best part of Pesto community if you're a part of it? If somebody wants to be a part of our community.
The best part of any community is coming together and helping each other. and possibly growing as well. And I think both these two qualities are provided by Pesto. We have mentors, plus we have some amazing developers who are learning every day. And you need to for every developer, you need to keep in mind that where there is learning, there can be ignorance. So there's another saying that I have a lot of sayings in my head. So there is another saying that ignorance is the reflection of ego. Like when you think that you know everything, you basically know nothing. And when you think you need to learn a lot of things, you actually know more than a lot of people. So the second is the kind of mindset that most people at Pesto have. Like they have this fire within themselves to learn, to make an impact. And no matter how whom I interact with, everyone is learning something new, and there is something to learn from everybody. And I think that's amazing for any person who wants to get involved in Pesto and be a part of community. And they one thing is sure, they will learn something, but of course they need to put in effort as well, and they need to be the same thing that they are getting, basically sharing what they know.
That's really nice. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
guys, as you know, that it was an amazing session with Vignesh. So you can directly connect with him in the Discord community of Pesto. Also, he'll be there to help you guys. And also, please make sure that you like and subscribe to Pesto, because we'll be bringing amazing content, similar content. And if you have any suggestions, do let us know. Please comment. We'll make sure that we bring content which is very much what you are expecting out of us. So we look forward to the next podcast, and I'll be coming up with something new. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.